Week 161 is here. What's going on in real estate? I mean, listen, there's so many people talking so much trash. I don't even know how, if you're not even in this every single day, like how you'd even know what's real. Let's make a couple things clear. Well, first of all, my name is Ara Memorian. I'm the team lead here at the Spring Team, host of the Real Estate Raccoons podcast, which is coming out soon. The Real Estate Raccoons YouTube channel, which is almost coming up to a year of making these videos. Thank you for your support. And what is this? This is week 161. And I say this every week, but just in case, I was looking at the statistics and like the majority of people that watch these videos aren't subscribers. So what the hell are you guys doing? Subscribe and give me some love. Like I put a lot of time and effort into this stuff. So like show me a little bit of love, would you? And if you don't like what I'm talking about, then get out of here. Anyway, I'm a little bit riled up today because I just hear so much trash being talked by people that have no idea what they're talking about, and it's killing me. Like, the realtor's favorite line is, I don't have a crystal ball. Like, hey, let's forget about the market. Let's focus more on, like, sales and all that. I just don't understand how you can be in this business and not be so all in that you just, I don't know. Anyway, whatever. I don't want to go on a rant about this thing right now. But this week, 161, it's a very interesting time in real estate right now because we are in this environment where buyers seem to like be cool with what's happening out there because things have been a shit show for so long that we're now okay with it. So when things turn and get a little bit more unpredictable or whatever, we seem to be more okay with it right now. So anyway, where I'm going with that is, inflation is not really in as good a place as people think it is. That's one thing that I've said over and over and over again. The main reason inflation numbers have appeared to be coming down is because of a few things that are within that kind of CPI, the basket of goods, so to speak, that are tracked to follow whether things are getting more expensive or cheaper. And, oil has become less expensive. And so that's affected inflation numbers tremendously. But things like food and other things in that basket have gotten more expensive. But the long and short of it is, on Sunday, OPEC decided that they're going to cut production by 1 million barrels by May or something like that. And what that's going to do is likely increase the cost of oil, which will probably prolong this high inflation environment, which would keep rates relatively high. So, I get that people are still making buying decisions today, hopefully not assuming that your rate is all of a sudden going to be cut in half by the time you close. But I have heard some agents talking about interest rates achieving that 2 to 3% range by the end of this year. Like, that is an absurd statement. The way things are going right now, there's no chance in hell interest rates are going to be anywhere near that target 2 to 3% rate by the end of 2023. Rates might start thinking about coming down at some point Q3, Q4, but we got a long road before rates come down to that 2 to 3% range that people have been hoping for. So let's not be delusional about this and make sure the realtor you're speaking to really has a good grasp of what's happening globally and how that can affect prices here. And number one, there's two sides of that coin. There's that one realtor who just loves getting that attention and pretending to be a truth teller by highlighting irrelevant situations from the past and saying, look, this person has gone through this, therefore this is a possibility going forward. Better be careful what guys like Ara are telling you. He'll say something like, you can't day trade real estate, so you make a buying decision now so he can make money. Like, that's the kind of stuff that some people are talking about. And then there are others who are like, well, prices are obviously going to come down because they're too high. And we know that prices don't come down because they're too high. Prices come down because buyers' affordability is affected. The number of buyers that are out in the market is affected. The number of sellers in the market has increased. There are so many things that happen for prices to come down. And it's not just because prices are too high. So back October to December, when we were talking about how little activity there was, and we were talking about this is an awesome time to be a buyer, that's not me being a salesperson just to get you to pull the trigger on something so I can buy another house. That's me telling you that when these moments of inactivity exist, That's when sellers are most vulnerable. So as a buyer, that is the best opportunity for you to take advantage of in that moment. But when you're in that moment, when things are stagnant or things are kind of trending downward, you are worried that, oh, well, what if there is more to, more damage to come? And that's a legitimate concern that, looking back, I totally understand why somebody wouldn't have made a buying decision then. Because number one, even if you are comfortable making a buying decision, and we're talking deeply about the stats and the numbers and kind of looking long term, you're going to go home and you're going to talk to your spouse, your friends, your family, and all of those people are going to tell you that you are making a huge mistake. And to me, that's actually a signal that you should be doing something. When you have people around you that aren't tapped into the thing that you are trying to do, who are giving you advice on that thing, then you need to do the exact opposite to what they're saying. Same goes on the way up. If you've got people that have no skin in the game, that have no idea what the market is doing and why it's doing it, telling you, oh, you got to get in, there's a good opportunity, blah, blah, blah. It's like that saying, I don't know what the saying is, like when you're, it's like in the Great Depression in 1929. I don't know if this is a true story or not, but some guy was getting his shoes shined, and the shoe shine guy was giving him stock advice, and he knew at that moment that he needed to sell everything, and he was one of the guys that kind of made it through the Great Depression unscathed. And that, same goes from the way up and the way down. You need to pay attention to who you're getting your advice from. There's some great creators here on YouTube, the Tom Stories of the world that really give it to you straight, Emma Pace, all these awesome people you should be following, that really talk to you about real estate from an intelligent place, no drama, just pure good content. And then there are others that love the sound bites. So hopefully you're able to filter through some of those people and understand what's going on. So let's talk about the market in general right now. So if you've been following this blog, you know that it's 161 weeks since March of 2020 that I've been tracking this market. It's been a long time. Maybe I'll have a party at 200 weeks. We'll see what happens. So looking at the market, the 5 different markets that I'm looking at, supply pulled back in each one. Sales were up dramatically in each one. So all of those new listings that were added last week were fully absorbed and then some. So, like I said, this weekly reporting is vital because we get to see and spot trends before those monthly numbers come out. From the past 161 weeks, I have noticed that if something happens for 3 weeks in a row, it's likely a trend that is here to stay. To date, we have seen listings come on, pull back, come up, pull back. There has not been a consistent weekly addition of listings for it to mean anything. Even with rates being as high as they are, just the news that fixed rates might come down and potentially variable rates might come down brought more buyers to the market. Now, these people are paying the rates that are there today. So they're not banking on these lower rates, but the certainty in their minds that rates will come down got them to finally get into the market, knowing that things are probably not going to get much worse. So, and that's a question, are things going to get worse for Toronto real estate? Are we still able to talk about what's happening now as that dead cat bounce that I talked about in week 157 or 158? I think we're beyond that conversation now. I think that buyers in Toronto have shown that they're really comfortable with what's happening out there, and they are making buying decisions today. And prices of some of these sales are very similar in price and activity to what was happening at the very peak of the market last February. So we've had some super difficult conversations with folks that were in the market with us prior to December, who were paralyzed by the uncertainty of what was to come, and they didn't make a buying decision, or they were so picky that they just couldn't pull the trigger on something because it wasn't perfect. They had a limited budget and they really had to find something within that budget. Those people came back now, so we've had to tell them, number one, you've got to downgrade your expectations because those homes that you could have got for under $1 million are no longer trading at under $1 million. It's not happening. You need to get your money up now, or you need to adjust your expectations. And if it was difficult for them to adjust their expectations at the lower price point, it's going to be virtually impossible to get them to do that now. So many people that we were talking to prior to December, they're ending up in the rental market right now because they missed their opportunity before. Now, I'm not saying they made a bad decision. It's just that paralysis that I was talking about before. They just didn't know where the market was going or what was going to happen. So they weren't able to pull the trigger because they listened to the people around them and not the professionals. And it's just human psychology. It is what it is. I'm not going to get mad about it. You can't get mad about it. You got to sleep in your bed, the bed that you made, whatever that saying is. Anyway, so there's some interesting times ahead for sellers. The window is still open. I don't know when that window is going to close, but it will close. And my prediction is, and has been for the past few weeks, that window will close as we get into like the June, July months. So you need to be getting your property ready now. And we've got a phenomenal, basically unbeatable listing program here at the Spring Team that I'd love to talk to you about. But if you're looking, for the cheapest commission, it's not us. Go find another realtor for that. We do way too much work. We are way too all in and way too good at our jobs to be cutting commissions. We're probably one of the more expensive options out there, especially if you need staging and things like that, because we're pure white glove. We do everything, hand the keys, you go on vacation. We do all of the things from packing to storing to moving to staging. Like, you don't do anything. So if you're looking for an inexpensive option, it's not us. We've had many clients over the years, would-be clients, not become clients, go with less expensive options. Sometimes it's worked out well. Most of the time, it hasn't. There's currently a loft on the market right now in the Beaches that we have pitched twice now and lost out twice because they didn't like our fee, they didn't like our recommendation, but now it's on the market. It's got horrible staging and a terrible listing strategy, wrong price, just wrong everything about this place. But hey, they had a better connection with them, so they went with them. I totally get that. We're not for everybody, but if you are purely focused on price, the Spring Team is not the team for you. But we are literally the most active and best agents in this city. So if you want white glove, you want best, you want top dollar, you want us. That's probably the first sales pitch I've given in 161 weeks, so don't shoot me. Anyway, so we've got some interesting times ahead. Seller window is open right now. Buyers, it is a very competitive market out there right now, so don't get it twisted. Deals are not there for you at all. I'm sorry, I don't know who's telling you what, but there are no discounts, deals. That door is closed. For now, might open again, who knows? But it is closed for now, unless you're buying assignments or, not even pre-construction. Assignment condominiums, assignment sales are still where the best deals are. Not as good as they were before December, but decent deals, original price kind of sales, that kind of stuff. So with houses and condos right now, pretty much every house is going to go into competition right now, especially if it's turnkey. I'm selling my house. We're going to be putting it on the market in like a week or so. So if you're looking for a sick house in Scarborough, around $2 million, I'm going to put that on the market shortly. But with condos, we're getting about 20 to 25%. I've just pulled that number out of my ass. Let's forget I even said that. But a good number of condos are going into competition now as well, especially in the lower price points as first-time buyers become more comfortable getting back into the market. So there's competition all around. As a seller, there's no room for cutting corners. Buyers are savvier than they have ever been. So they are looking in every nook and cranny. So there's no hiding anything. You got to tighten that place up to make sure that it is solid for those buyers to have no objections when they're coming in to take a look at your place. So that's basically the landscape of the market right now. We are still looking at awesome opportunities in Calgary for pre-construction condos and some freehold product. So let's see how that all plays out for us. We are opening an office in Victoria. And since we kind of announced that we're doing Victoria, I don't even know if I said Victoria, but yeah, Victoria, British Columbia is happening in June 1st is when we're officially going to do that. And that is basically it. So please subscribe. Please subscribe. Please share. Let me know if there's anything you want me to talk about that I haven't been talking about. And subscribe to Real Estate Raccoons, me on Instagram, RMMO, the Spring Team on Instagram, the Spring Team. Find all of our agents. Let's start a party and a conversation. Bye, everyone.